How has the paid content landscape changed, so to speak, since your days at Wall Street Journal compared to today, now that you're with Gannett and the Courier-Journal?
Well, I think early on, we were one of the few out there charging for content. And so it was a lot more challenging because there were no one else to look at and see other models and to understand what was working and what wasn't working. So as we're paving that way, we tried a lot of different things, a lot of different approaches to how could we market our subscriptions, build the subscriber base, et cetera. And so all of it was kind of new ground in a way. Today, there's a lot more experience in the industry across a wider number of publishers, plus across a variety of categories. So it's not all financial business news sources. It's much more general interest. So there's a lot more knowledge. I think it's still developing the knowledge around what it takes more at the local, regional level and more general interest publication level to build that subscriber base. But I think there's a lot more knowledge. I think the other thing that is different to some degree is today there's a much greater role of social media and search and other ways in which people discover content. So back when we were first starting the Wall Street Journal, we could count on people coming to our site, and that's how they got their access to the information. Now, almost every publisher counts on a lot of traffic coming in from a lot of different directions. And how you meld that into a paid strategy is very different than if you're a destination site. And so that's required a lot of different thinking. And I think we're still getting experience on that side.
You spoke of metrics. What role does metrics play in your paid content strategy going forward?
Sure. To me, the role of metrics is to really help us understand what works and what doesn't work. What are consumers really interested, particularly those who ultimately translate into our paying subscribers? So who are our loyal users? What kinds of content are they most interested in? And what isn't working? And some of that can be the type of stories we do, the time of day in which we publish them. We need to understand in depth, by platform, by time of day, what types of content are interesting to users, and also to some degree what they're not interested in, because that allows us to really refine our work. We don't have tons of resources. We have only so many journalists to do the work. And if they're doing a lot of things that aren't buying us subscribers and readers, then we're wasting our energy. So we can also use the metrics to help us say, this kind of story really isn't necessarily worth our time, or this video of this kind of thing is not really worth our time. Take that time and apply it to the stories that do resonate, that do allow us to gain subscribers and readers.
How is this international event on digital content, digital media, paid content, what has it meant for you and your organization when you go back?
I always find that there's a lot of different perspectives. That sometimes in a single market like the United States, you get very caught up in one approach to doing things, and you also see the industry at different stages of its evolution. Whether at certain times different parts of the world are ahead of the United States. At certain times they're maybe behind, but they may be benefiting from that experience. So to me, gaining and listening to other people talk about their experiences in different parts of the world is always very helpful to getting a better perspective on how we do our own job.
Thank you.
Sure.